Hello, mate.
Hello, gangster. You all right?
Oh, I just finished cardio and
Oh, is it?
I cooked with garlic paste and my whole body smells like garlic and it is absolutely fucking mean. It's like literally, I was like, what the fuck is that smell? And it's me. I'm the
Oh
smell.
no,
Yeah, not nice. How are you, mate? We
I
haven't
am the stink.
talked in ages.
Yeah, I know. It's been mad, isn't it? I don't know why it's been so long. I mean, I couldn't make last week's episode. Was it last week?
Last week we didn't do it because we were both busy, and then week before it was Pete. So
Pete, right.
yeah.
It's been 3 weeks. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. No complaints. No complaints at all. You?
Oh, yeah, good mate. Just getting on with things. Cars finally in the shop.
Yeah.
Final repairs, and then
Right.
back to normal routine, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, I
I've
bet.
I've missed my nice equipment a lot.
Yeah, I bet. Especially going from that to then training at Reshape. Like, it's a very different type of gym.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with Max actually this morning. I was saying
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it's not bad. Reshape isn't a bad gym by any
No,
means.
no, no.
And like, for anyone listening to this, you can make, in my opinion, if you have a cable stack, barbells, and dumbbells, you can pretty much do most movements you would get at other
Yeah.
gyms, or mimic it per se. And you
Yeah.
can get great physique out of that. I mean, my first two and a half years was out of what's it called? What's the term for those kind of gyms? I can't even think of it.
Commercial.
Commercial gym, yeah.
Commercial gym.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think the biggest difference for me is like being surrounded by like-minded individuals where
Yeah.
people in there with the goal of like maybe competing or like this is like the number one thing in their day, and you can just see that like throughout their
Yeah.
mentality and how they train compared to like you're going to a commercial gym where it's like you know someone's mum trying to lose some weight, or like a 70-year-old
Yeah.
granddad. Like, good for them, and like look, that's great, and like no,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to slag it off, but like I
It,
felt it. I felt it's been a lot harder for me to kind of like flick that switch mentally,
yeah.
where I thought I had to like I've had to put extra effort into like getting myself into that mentality
Yeah.
um over the
100%.
last kind of couple of weeks. But 3 weeks just flown by. I think it's been 3 weeks, no, 2 weeks even. But yeah, I am so like because I'm so zoned in on that routine of like watch some training footage, not my training footage, that would be like psychotic. Watch something to like hype me up, drive to the gym with some shit
Yeah.
done, and then just be there compared to walk a minute down the road. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
It's different, isn't it? It
It's
is
different, man.
different.
How
You're a dealer at the moment.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think today's the final day. Like I don't I didn't feel like there's so many indicators when you need a deload, and it wasn't like training progressions or anything that was like going down because I'm still progressing. I'm like I think 6.5 kilos down and still progressing, which is
Yeah.
class.
That's
Um,
banging.
but like energy levels, like it just rapidly one day I woke up and I was like, holy, like my sleep since I started with Max has been like the number one thing I've improved like across the board, because I've always like I haven't neglected it, but I just haven't put a lot of effort into it. And
Yeah.
I think like 2 weeks into it, I realized like, holy shit, this is making such a difference within like my training, but like
Yeah.
like especially was like my mental health. Like literally my
Yeah.
mental health went from like I'm having a breakdown every other week to I haven't had I had like one little slip up like recently, but like it was I wouldn't even say it was a slip up. It was just like I made a mistake and it like I learned from it, but like
Yeah.
nothing that deep.
Good.
But yeah, it's been class. Today's the
That's
last day.
mate.
I'm getting my training program swapped out for a new one, and then should be back Friday in that gym, and then might have to like switch a few things around for the next 2 days while I wait for the
Yeah.
car. But yeah,
Sick, man.
how's everything
That's
going?
so good. Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad at all. I've got this week, and then we're actually going into like a mini diet break.
Yeah,
Um, Similar sort of position to you, to be fair. It's like no matter how much I'm focusing on stuff, the fatigue is just there, like that diet fatigue. It's been for me, it's been 15 weeks.
Yes,
Um,
more than double me because I think I'm only
yeah,
6.
yeah. So we had a deload 4 weeks ago. That worked wonders, to be fair. Um, and then got back into it, but I just can't seem to shift the fatigue. Like normally, it's funny that it's coming at this time, but this week I've actually felt all right. But normally by Wednesday now I'd be struggling.
Really?
Like yeah, and even like that's with good sleep and everything. I'd just be like it'd be getting to like this time now, and I'd be like I'm literally dead to the world. But I feel I've it's so weird. I feel okay today. I felt okay yesterday and all of this, but I think that's a done decision. Like I think we are going to have a little diet break. I don't know how long for. He's going to fill me in on Sunday. Hopefully, it's just like a week or just a week at higher calories will do me. I'm a person I'd like to just get it done.
Mm.
So if we can kind of keep it to like 7 days, just on higher food again, and then I think that would do me well because like now where I've been in deficit for so long, it's like every day I wake up, it's like deficit, deficit, deficit. Do you know what I mean?
I
And
was
like,
saying
all right,
to I was saying to Max, it's almost like I don't know if you feel this way, but like especially when I need a deload, the best way I describe it is I don't feel happy, I don't feel sad, but I just feel numb.
yeah,
It's like I'm going through life and like for those couple of days, like everything's just black and white. Like I'm not in a bad
yeah,
mood, I'm not in a good mood, and it's just like I'm just going through it.
yeah. I'm literally, and it's just like every day is the same.
Mm.
Every day is the same. Like it's just right today. All I have to
It's
do,
monotonous, but like this is where you separate the boys from the men. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
where
because it's where,
you've made mad progress so far. And
mm,
first of all, hats off for you for sharing your progress, mate, because that's a big like
thank you.
stepping stone.
Yeah,
And you're looking class. How much weight have you pulled off now?
8 kilos, but it looks a lot more.
Mm.
But there's definitely some more tissue on the frame. That's for sure. My my delts are filled out. Um, Definitely got some more tissue on my back as well because I'd always pretty much neglected back to be fair.
Mm.
Um, I've been absolutely smashing my fucking legs, so I presume there's more tissue on there. But I hold majority of my fat on my legs,
Mm.
so for me that'll be the last thing that I see, and I go, oh shit, yeah, I have definitely grown some tissue there.
Mm.
But for me, I hold me and Tom were saying this because he's the same as me. We both hold fat in like women, so like on the hips, on the legs.
Mm.
That's why as soon as I started uh, dieting, my upper shelf just like disappeared straight away, like from up to like just above my belly button, and you can see that on my back and my front. Um, so yeah, it literally is as boring as it sounds. I'm just going day to day, mate, just day to day. Um, but yeah, no, good. Really enjoying training. So no complaints, brav.
Lovely stuff. What's the plan then after you finish your deload? You're just going back. Are you going to go straight back into a fat loss phase, or are you just gonna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I'd like to do that. Yeah, I would like to. I want to try and get off. What am I now? 96.3. Probably want to get another 10 kilos off.
Yeah.
So, but I'd probably want to go quite aggressive, I think.
Hmm.
Just like by the end of summer, I want to be done.
Yeah.
Done. Um,
I'm like I'm actually quite surprised how like how well my body's reacting with mine. Like I knew this would be easier compared to diets I've done in the past, but like all we've done so far is probably cut my calories by like 750 from like the highest point, but
mm,
that's like that and cardio, and it's like it's so manageable at the moment. And like I'm
yeah.
saying this very early doors, and I guarantee you in like 2 weeks, I'll be like, oh shit. Um, but yeah, I'm very happy. I'm just scared like I'm gonna pull like all this fat off, and I'm gonna be like there's no change class.
No, there will be.
I pray to the Lord above there is, because at the moment I'm like, mm,
You've been grafting though.
I know, but I've got like that thing in my head where I'm just like, have you grown? Have you bulked for long enough? All this kind of stuff.
Well,
I
how
think
long's it
I have,
been?
because like after this, we're going to be in a gaining phase for a very long time. So I want to look good cut.
Yeah, exactly. Put yourself in that prime position to then
So I think we're
grow.
about, yeah. Did you get any? Did you get any questions?
I've got two.
Oh, nice. I think I got one. So we're
Nice.
getting up there, lads. We
Come
have
on in,
some
boys.
questions.
um,
You go first,
right,
mate.
where we at? Cool. Where we at? Um, why has my weight loss slowed down now that I'm 3 months into it? This is actually a really common question.
Mm.
Um, and I mean, I'm sure I reckon, judging by the content we both watch, I think we're probably going to come out with pretty similar answers here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You go, because
but
it's your question.
it's,
Yeah.
it's actually not that complicated. I remember thinking this myself before I became a coach, and I was just like, if I'm doing exactly the same, why is nothing changing? But then you realize that that is exactly why nothing's changing, because you are doing exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, just like anything, it's very similar to resistance training and like providing a stimulus, right? So basically what happens is when you start, so say both of us, when we started our dieting phases, obviously we are at a set point. So you're this weight, you're doing this much activity a week, and you're eating this amount of food in and around that every single day. Um, so basically what happens is when you start a dieting phase, you provide your body with a stimulus, but a different one. So that stimulus would be your new calories, which is going to be your deficit. And then if you've got cardio in from the start, or you've got a step count that you wouldn't normally track, there's the first, say, let's just say steps and calories are the first two. There's your first two stimuluses. What happens is you follow them two stimuluses and your body gets used to it. So it starts to stall. So then you do one of three things. You increase your expenditure via steps, or another option, cardio. You increase cardio or add cardio into your plan, or you cut your calories. And that's probably pretty person dependent, because some people probably don't have time to do 4 cardio sessions a week. So food is the first option that you have to cut. Whereas some people who really enjoy eating food would then rather do a higher step count or add cardio into their plan. So basically, what happens is, Callum, this boy is a member at Feelgood. What's happened to Callum is he's been following this for a certain amount of time, and considering he's been losing for 3 months, he's probably provided himself with a massive deficit from the start, so it would sustain for longer.
Mm.
But what's happened now is that he's been in that for 12 weeks. Now his body's used to eating 2,000 calories, doing 30 minutes cardio, and 8,000 steps a day. So then what needs to happen is you need to continually provide the body with another shock factor, basically. So like something needs to change. So whether that be you go from 8 to 9,000 steps, because then you're doing 7,000 more steps throughout the week, or your cardio goes from 4 times a week at half an hour to 5 times a week. So you've got an extra half an hour there of burning extra calories that you normally wouldn't. So it's just like training. If you're not going to grow much unless you are progressively overloading. It's the same way when you're dieting, whether you're bulking or cutting, naturally your body's going to get to a point where it's like, oh, this is all right. And then it's going to need to change something. That's what I'd say.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Cam basically nailed that. Like in simple terms, your body's smart, it adapts. The number one thing I'd say as well is just make sure you're doing, a lot of people think they're doing the same thing week in and week out. And if you're not tracking all these factors, you know,
Hmm.
a lot of people can just be in a position where they think they're doing everything the same and they're not. And the number one thing I
No, yeah.
commonly see that goes, which I normally have to remind clients about, because when you get into a diet phase, your body doesn't want to lose fat. It's smart. It wants to preserve its fat stores. It wants to do everything it can to survive. Because when you go into a deficit, you're essentially starving your body, and your body thinks it's starving. So
Yeah.
if your body can protect that, it will. But the number one thing I commonly see is, you stop fidgeting as much, you stop walking as much, so your step count will naturally, probably be pulled back. So make sure you're nailing all those factors. And a really important thing Cam touched on there, for anyone who's like thinking of starting a cut, milk the most out of as little as you do before you increase that, because your body adapts. If you like that example Cam gave, if you've given yourself like a 1,300 calorie deficit, yeah, initially you're going to drop weight very, very quickly, but as soon as that stalls, you've got no runway to push from there. So
Yeah.
be smart about it. You can do that kind of style cut if it's not for a prolonged period of time. If you want to do a very aggressive cut and maybe drop a few kilos here and there, fine. But if you're doing like a long term, like lots of weight, don't even think about that.
No.
Yeah.
No, you need to take. Yeah, that's one thing I'll do with as many clients as possible. For me, is like, right, what's the bare minimum we can get away with while still making progress? So it's like, right, what's the most amount of food we can have you on with the least amount of cardio? We lose a nice amount of weight every week, and then you just slowly increase that. And I find that's always the best, because then your energy levels are better, and then like you say, you can still fidget more. You can still do your cardio, do your steps, and still feel like you have energy.
Mm.
So yeah, that was my first question. What did you get?
I'm pretty sure it's just about blood glucose management, which I was surprised someone actually messaged me about. If I can get into my phone, there we are. Nice, we got there in the end. Yeah. So Paul said, opinion on taking your blood glucose readings in a gaining phase. Have you ever done this?
Never.
Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, I think I have one here. So for any of the people watching, you'll see this. Oh no, that's my microphone kit. Don't worry, no one's watching it, no one's seeing it. Basically, people who have diabetes normally carry kits as well, just to make sure their blood glucose is in like a safe range.
Yeah.
But essentially, the thought behind it is, as you push up carbohydrates, your insulin sensitivity decreases, and when this happens, you're not partitioning food as effectively as you can be. You'll normally store a lot more fat than actually like start turning it into muscle. Like you'll notice as you're pushing on through the weeks, you'll look a lot fatter. You may not be progressing anymore in the gym, even though you're increasing your food. But the normal number one thing is like visual. I do think there is merit for using it. I definitely don't think everyone has to do it. I think unless you're pushing up your carbohydrates to a significant level, I think I only started using it when my carbs were around like 600,
Yeah.
600 grams a day. Like if you're someone who's just starting off doing a first bulk, don't overthink these kind of things.
Yeah.
I've just introduced it recently with one of my clients, Joe. Just from a standpoint that we kept feeding him up. I think he's on like 700 carb now a day, which is mad.
Right. Yeah.
And like we saw like we feed him up 700 carbs a day, and his weight would just decrease. Like it would just start going down, and we were like, what is going on? And then one day it would just rapidly decrease, and like I was like what is going on? So we started measuring that. But yeah, I think there's merit. I think it is an important tool, especially from if you're someone who wants to like optimize everything and get the most out of a phase, like a very long off season, then yeah, definitely use it.
Yeah.
But if you're a complete beginner, I wouldn't say you need it.
Yeah. And what are you looking for on that? Because it is done in nanomoles, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're below 5 nanomole, you want a bit no. I think it's like I can't. This is bad. I should know this. I think it's around like 5.2 to 5.5. Like anything underneath that is fine. Anything higher than like 5.5, and you want to start like pulling back and try to get it down.
Right.
Because the lower it is, the more kind of sensitive you are. And I think actually I'll see if I can Google it quickly just to see what pre-diabetic bloods nanomal levels. 100 to 125 milligrams. That's not what I need. Oh, okay. So yeah, pre-diabetic is 5.7 or 6.4. Normal is 5.7 and below, and diabetes is 6.5 and above.
Right. Okay.
But also for anyone like who's done this and thinks like, oh, I've got diabetes. This is it on a fasted state. So you want to do it like as soon. I say do it a little bit after your alarm's gone off, because elevated heart rate and being like in a shock state can alter it, and after you've had a little bit of water, because hydration can affect it as well. But if you're fasted and it's above 6, then go to a doctor.
Yeah. You need Jesus.
You need Jesus. Some diabetic Dolly watching this. It's like,
um. Right. My last one that I got. If you could build muscle forever, but had to choose one of the big three, so the squat, bench, or deadlift, to stop training, which one would you choose and why? So you could do both of them, and like basically you're gonna build muscle whatever you do, but you have to get rid of one of the big three. Which one are you getting rid of?
can I still get injured? See, I got too many questions.
Yeah, you can.
But I can continue building. Um,
This is a no-brainer for me.
I'm just gonna say bench. I've never liked bench press, and I know there's gonna be a lot
No,
of people. I
I'm the
hate
exact same.
I hate bench. I like deadlift,
Oh,
I like
actually,
squatting. Bench, I've never liked it.
I don't know if it's back squat, you know. Oh, fuck. I think it might have to be back squat for me.
See, the thing is, with all
I
those three lifts, I'm like, you can injure yourself on all of them. So I'm just like, probably deadlift most common, but like, I just never liked bench. I never got on with it.
Yeah, see, I've never really got on with bench, but I've never been that shit at it. I've just not done it enough. But squatting, I've given a good go. Got okay strong at it, but I just hate it. I don't enjoy it.
Don't like squatting.
Nah, not at all.
Any
It
particular
hurts
reason
my.
why? I would just
I've got a dodgy hip, so it's always just flared it up. If I was pain free whilst doing it, then I would enjoy it. But the fact that it aggravates my hip pisses me off.
did you get that on any other movements, or is it just that?
Quite a lot of leg movements. But right now, touch wood, it's going all right.
Yeah.
Although I say that, I'm about to ask Tom if I can swap out my Smith machine squat for a barbell squat, so I can't hate it that much.
I was about to. How come?
Can't hate it that much, innit? Oh, I hate Smith machine squat. I
Really?
think the Smith machines at David Lloyd are just shit.
I was gonna say I actually really like Smith squat. I've been doing them recently, and it's like my legs are so weak. It's actually embarrassing. Like so
Yeah,
embarrassing. Like
really.
like they're not on like on squat patterns. They're just so bad. On like leg extensions, super strong, fine. But
Yeah,
like and that like that's not ego lifting or anything. But like squat patterns, I just feel like I'm so weak. Leg press, I'm strong as well. Like I can do that fine. But like squat
yeah,
patterns, for whatever reason, I'm just so weak. Um. And I'm going to set myself some big goals this off season with legs,
yeah.
especially. I'm shitting myself because Max was like, "Oh, your leg day's pretty easy now." I think about it, and I was like, "Oh, is it?"
That's not easy, mate.
I was like, "It's easy there." Let me change
Yeah,
all these muscle sorenesses to 5 on leg days.
yeah.
Um, but
Recovery rate shit, mate.
yeah, I think he said he's going to absolutely bury me, but I need it to be fair. So can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
Fuck.
Not
Yeah,
ideal.
no, for me, I think squat. Yeah, squat. I'm sticking with squat.
I'm sticking with bench. I just don't like bench, mate. Literally killed me. Not a fan of it. Evil.
Yeah, you got PTSD, bro.
I got PTSD from that, mate. I just don't.
Yeah, that shit got you fucked up.
Mate, that shit was scary, man. Oh fuck! I can't
I
believe
bet.
we were talking about near-death experiences today at work. Have you ever had a near-death experience?
When I was 10, I crashed my mini motorbike into my wall in my garden. And I thought I was dead.
Sorry. I was just imagining a little hand.
I was ragging it, mate.
uh,
Um, yeah, but other than that, um, no, that's literally the only one.
oh,
I've
my
been in
mate
a car crash, but it was only a little one
I've been in a car crash
in,
as well.
in the snow.
Ah, nah, nah. I
Was
was,
you
I,
driving?
nah.
Yeah, no, I was
I
in
got a
the car.
clean. 1 year, been driving, no accidents, insurance
That's
down.
my boy. That's my boy.
Um, what? Oh yeah, no. So I was with a friend and she was like driving. I think we put in like the wrong address and we were in some sketchy area and it was a roundabout where it had lights in the middle. So like when you come
Yeah,
all the way around, they got like a light on the midpoint. She
yeah.
didn't. She was like looking at me because she like didn't know. We were just having a conversation. She looked at me and I was looking straight ahead. And we came around the corner and it was like red light. And it was like ah, and then it just it's
Uh-oh.
very weird seeing someone in a car crash. Like it wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. I felt really bad for her, but at the time, I was just like, I was just like, crazy, crazy. Better you than me. Uh,
Yeah, fuck, man. It's
yeah.
stress.
I would shit
I
myself in
don't.
a car crash. I would absolutely shit myself.
Yeah.
I would be there. I'd be like, sorry.
Even though it's their fault.
I might just start carrying like some Stevie Wonder glasses and just be like,
I can't fucking see.
sorry, mate.
I'm
Fucking
fucking blind.
guide dog jumped
Yeah.
out. I forgot. Um, Yeah, fuck car crashes. Not a fan of that at all.
Mad,
Oh,
mad.
I don't know what's going on with my Zoom. I don't know. Like, normally it cuts out like 30 minutes, but it hasn't even come up with a warning yet. And I feel like
Is it
surely
30 minutes or is it 40 minutes?
it just said Zoom 40 minutes. Wait, Zoom 40 minutes. Does that mean how long we've been going? I don't know. Am I logged into
No,
Pete?
it's not.
I might have hacked Pete's account, Pete, if you're watching this, sorry, man. Because he's got like the premium version and he shared it with me. He didn't like I didn't log in, but he sent me the link and I just want to make sure. No, it says Louis Wright. Okay, cool.
Mad. Yeah,
It's
no, yeah, because I've got on my invite it said Lou, right.
I'm not complaining. Cheers, Zoom. They must be watching and be like, yeah, pod's solid. Just make it long.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
give these boys a free account.
I'm just trying to think of other stuff we can talk about. Great podcast hosts, me and Cam. Honestly, most organized podcast in the game.
What is your we've spoke about that before. I know.
Oh,
Why is it important to have a step count, Louis?
just staying on top of health and like making sure you're in a calorie deficit and good for your heart rate and like digestion and all these kind of things.
Do you keep a step count in off season?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
it lower?
Oh, 100%. I think steps. I think. Well, I wouldn't say. You could argue. I think steps is a necessity all year round, especially from a digestion standpoint off season. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
neglect how well a walk can like speed up like your rate of digestion, how hungry you are. Like
Yeah.
if you're sitting, what's the word, sedentary is
Yeah.
that? I always say like sediment instead of sedentary.
Sediment.
And my mum's like, it's not an igneous rock.
You block of cement.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're sitting sedentary and you're just doing fuck all, you're not gonna be hungry. You aren't gonna have any appetite. And if you're eating like massive meals, it's gonna take longer to digest.
Yeah.
Um, and just staying on top of your health as well. I not all the time, it depends. I have cardio for most, like two of my guys currently in the off season, and both of them had cardio in. One of them, Joe, still has cardio in, and Albert, I've taken his out because he's just started playing volleyball 2 times a week, so he gets his cardio via that. And I don't want it to
Oh,
like impede recovery too much. But I
Yeah.
definitely think there's merit. There we are. There's the fucking Zoom thing. We've got 10 minutes, mate. So we'll wrap this up in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's calm.
But yeah, I definitely think I 100% think steps are needed in the off season. What do you think, mate?
No, I agree. I will probably say the same thing as you. I think just staying on overall health, I see a study that says people who do 8,000 steps and above, uh, on average, live for 10 years longer than everyone else.
Mate, I'm gonna live forever. Do you know how many days I've done 10,000 steps in a row?
Yeah, it's actually, I'm going to live to 140, mate. So obviously you've got the health side of things, and for something that is so easy to do and doesn't take a lot of your time, your life, your energy, anything like that, I think it's actually a no-brainer. For as long as you possibly can, whether you're getting old or not, if you can stay active, your your joint tissue and your musculature actually stays. People only really see a decline if they stop doing what they're doing. All right, as you get older, you're gonna have to need to taper some stuff down. But if you can keep it to a solid level and maintain strength, etc., then there's studies that have shown like a 78-year-old man who continued consistent resistance training, like split twice a week, and his joint tissue around his joints and his muscles and his bone density was the same as that 24-year-old.
Yeah,
So it just shows.
Yeah, when you hear stuff about like old people like walking down the stairs and their like hips go, don't want to be that Donny. I want to be like
You don't.
8-year-old man, just like rocking up to kids and just fucking being like, you know what I mean?
So like genuinely from a health point, no brainer. Digestion point, no brainer.
Mental health
One thing
point of
I'd add as
view,
well.
good for anxiety, you know,
I
going
was
on
literally about to say the mental clarity. Like
nature,
I
sun.
went out today. It walks around the park around here, surrounded by green trees. Can't remember what the study is, but there's
You are loving your
apparently.
studies today.
Oh, in it, I'm a fucking nerd, mate. I'm so sad.
Walking in sunshine.
Um, fucking. I did think that a minute ago. When I said that, I was like, "God, I sound
No,
like a
go on with
right."
your studies, mate.
Yeah.
I've up the studies.
Yeah. It's something about green exposure. But I can't remember what it was. So like being around trees, being in nature, like it offers a lot for your mental clarity. And your tiredness and fatigue as well. Like I walked up and I was wasn't tired, but I could definitely feel a little bit slouchy. And I got back and I felt full of life. I hadn't had no caffeine, that little bit of water, and it does really wake you up. Like,
No, it is, mate. It's the sunshine. You're actually a plant and you're going through photosynthesis.
come on, G.
Facts. It's fact.
Come on, G.
The
I
chloroplast is powerhouse of the cell. Or is it chlorophyll? I can't remember. Damn it.
think it's chlorophyll. I don't actually. I can't remember.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's why you should keep your steps, and that's why steps are very important.
fantastic. We had 2 minutes, so I'm just going to end it there if you're all right, mate. Yeah.
That's cool with me, boy.
So people, I know we've said it a million times, but I promise the next one we will have structure. We've just been slacking. We've been busy boys.
Life's been busy, man.
It's been busy, you know, too many coaching inquiries. We're eating good. No, I'm just kidding.
I fucking oh my god, Louis, I forgot to tell you, I follow this guy, and he's a lifestyle coach. And some of his videos have been going quite viral recently. He's only got like 13K, so he's not massive. He's had 1,000 people type onto his Typeform in 6 weeks. 1,000 people on his Typeform. That is mad, isn't it?
That's crazy. Send me this guy's Instagram after thing so I can just, do some market research.
Yeah.
Just do a little bit analysis.
Mad.
Pre-game lobby.
Yeah.
All right, people.
Thank you very much.
Question box up if anyone's got any questions. The usual. We'll see you in a bit. Peace.